When the first shadow lengthened across the great forest and the year 1000 of the Third Age drew nigh, a singular event occurred upon the shores of Middle-earth that would forever alter the fate of its peoples. At the Grey Havens, 5 mysterious figures arrived from the far west, appearing in the likeness of men, old but vigorous, who changed little with the passing years. These were the Astari, the wizards, messengers sent by the lords of the West to contest the rising power of Sauron and to move elves, men, and all living things of goodwill to acts of great valor. While the names of Gandalf the Grey and Saruman the White have echoed through every hall from the Shire to Gondor, 2 of their order vanished into the vast and sun-scorched lands of the Orient, becoming a haunting mystery in the annals of the West. Welcome to Echoes of Middle-earth, where today we are venturing beyond the borders of the known maps to ask the Blue Wizards what happened in the East. To understand the mission of these forgotten guardians, we must first look to the nature of the Order of the Astari themselves. It is recorded that there were 5 in this fellowship, and while they possessed many powers of mind and hand, they were strictly forbidden to match Sauron's power with power, or to seek to dominate the children of Ilúvatar through force and fear. They were counselors, not kings, intended to rekindle the hearts of a world that was growing chill under a gathering dark. While Mithrandir, whom we know as Gandalf, was closest in friendship with the elves and wandered mostly in the west, and Radagast the Brown remained a friend to all beasts and birds in Mirkwood, the others of the Astari chose a different path entirely. These figures went into the east of Middle-earth and do not come into the main tales of the War of the Ring. The mystery of their disappearance is deepened by the movements of Curanir, or Saruman the White, who was the eldest of the Order and the first to arrive. It is noted in the ancient lore that Curanir journeyed often into the east, yet unlike his brethren who remained there, he eventually returned and chose to dwell at Orthanc in the Ring of Isengard. This suggests that the lands of Rhûn and the regions beyond the inland sea were of critical importance to the wizard's strategy. Gandalf himself, when asked of his many names across different countries, once famously declared that, "To the east I go not," leaving the burden of those distant lands to his blue brethren. They were sent to be the primary defense against the shadow in the east, a darkness that was far more absolute than many in the west could imagine. The lands into which these 2 wizards vanished were the ancestral home of the younger children of Ilúvatar. Long before the sun first rose in the west, men woke in the region of Hildorian in the eastward parts of Middle-earth. Without the guidance of the Valar, these early men often fell under the dominion of Morgoth's emissaries, who sowed evil and cunning words in their hearts, causing many to worship the darkness. Even after Morgoth was thrust into the void, the seeds of his malice remained, and Sauron arose to claim the East as his own kingdom. To the men of the East and South, Sauron was both a king and a god, and his power was spread through fear and the gathering of fierce, ironclad armies. It was this entrenched system of god worship and tyranny that the Blue Wizards were sent to dismantle from within. The scale of their challenge was immense, for the East was not only home to men, but also to many of the Avari, the unwilling elves. These were the ancient folk who never set out upon the paths to Valinor and knew of the Valar only as a distant rumor. Wandering free in the wide lands far from the sea, the Avari, to whom the deeds of Beleriand were but a myth, lived under the lengthening shadow of Mordor. The Blue Wizards would have encountered these sundered kindreds, perhaps seeking to unite the Dark Elves and the Followers against the common enemy who sought to devour all. Sauron himself feared the potential resistance in the east, for as his power grew, he became wary of the Númenórean kings who might one day invade his lands to wrest from him the dominion of the Orient. Throughout the Third Age, while Gondor and Arnor fought the long defeat, things moved in the Far East beyond the inland sea that significantly impacted the overall war. Reports reached the Council of the Wise of wars and growing fear in those distant lands, and the East was known to be a place where Mordor had allied itself with many peoples, including the Easterlings and the cruel Haradrim. The very fact that Sauron's main assault in the War of the Ring was turned southward towards Minas Tirith may be a testament to the work of the Blue Wizards. Had they not been present to stir resistance and cause disunion among the tribes of Rhûn, the host that eventually emerged from the Black Gate might have been 10 times more numerous, a black tide that would have overwhelmed the West before the ring could ever reach Mount Doom. However, the path of a wizard is fraught with the peril of pride and the temptation to rule. Saruman, the head of the council and the most learned in ring lore, fell to the desire for mastery and became a traitor to his mission. He began to plot to become a power himself, ruining the order and harmony he was sent to preserve. It has been pondered whether the Blue Wizards suffered a similar fate, falling into the evils and follies that plagued the men of Númenor, becoming enamored of the darkness, or perhaps establishing their own secret cults and magic among the wild men. If they succumbed to the mind of metal and wheels, they might have used their knowledge of smithcraft to arm the very people they were meant to liberate. Yet, there is a fool's hope that their mission was a success. Gandalf often spoke of how help comes from the hands of the weak when the wise falter. And perhaps in the vast expanses of the East, the Blue Wizards found their own halflings, small, overlooked peoples who could strike at the roots of Sauron's influence. The history of Arda is a tapestry where many threads are woven in the dark, and not all deeds of renown are recorded in the books of the West. As the stars of the Valacerca, the sickle of the Valar, swing in the north as a sign of doom for the dark, they also shine over the nameless plains of the east, where 2 old men in blue may have fought their own kinslaying against the shadow. When the Third Age ended and the dominion of man began, the Age of the Wizards passed away. Mithrandir set sail from the Grey Havens, his task complete and the ring unmade. Whether the Blue Wizards also sought the ships to return to the ancient West, or if they became shadows of regret lingering in the lands they tried to save, remains a mystery locked in the mists of time. They are the echoes of a conflict that was global in scale, a reminder that the war between light and dark had frontiers that stretched from the shores of Belagare to the gates of morning. Thank you for joining us for this journey into the hidden history of the Blue Wizards on Echoes of Middle-earth. If you enjoyed this exploration of the mysterious others of the Istari and the shadowed lands of the East, please like and subscribe as we continue our quest through the deep lore and forgotten legends of J.R.R. Tolkien's world. Until the stars shine again on our meeting, may your path be guided by the light of wisdom and your heart stay true to the mission of the Free Peoples.